Sky News contributor, former Howard Government Minister Gary Hargrave, and Queensland member, LNP member Phil Thompson. Well, gents, I'll start with you, Phil. You've been in the military. How on earth does the Australian Defence Force have an alleged spy in its ranks? This vetting process, it's got to get some serious scrutiny, doesn't it?
100% it does. And if the blood-soaked dictator in President Putin can be in an illegal war in Ukraine and still have his tentacles run from the Australian army back to the Kremlin, we really need to be looking at where this has gone wrong and where this vetting has fallen over, because this should not be occurring at all. To have any alleged person who is spying, I think that there needs an overhaul and an immediate investigation should take place.
Not wrong. Up your way, the Prime Minister was in Queensland, Gary, on Saturday. He's been up there quite a bit. He announced a whole lot of new candidates. This one was for the Greens-held seat of Brisbane. I'm not going to say a name. I'm not going to give a Green Labor type of free ad here on Sky News. But he went in hard on David Crisafulli. He said if Crisafulli was to win, he would walk away in his opposition to nuclear, you know, that Peter Dutton would roll over the top of him. He's got his candidates out there across the board. I reckon they see him ahead of the coalition in terms of their candidates and the volume of them, which says to me he's really getting his house in order to go early, isn't he?
Well, you've got a fine example of the many Liberal National Party federal MPs already in place. I mean, I think they hold about 18 or 19 of the seats in Queensland. So look, the Prime Minister can take his inner city trendy lefty nonsense and put it where the sun never shines. And look, Peter, in the end, David Crisafulli is campaigning on issues that he can campaign on. Peter Dutton is likewise saying if he's made Prime Minister, he will bring the nuclear moratorium off the boil and allow us to get cheaper electricity. And I think that's the point. Dutton will rule for all of Australia, will rule in favour of all Australians. And, of course, cheaper electricity is at the heart of lowering the cost of living. Albo's just dissembling, as usual, no policies, no ideas, and the CFMEU snapping at his heels.
We'll stay with energy. This interview, there's a big program tonight, of course, 60 Years of the Australian, an interview by my boss, Paul Whittaker, here, CEO of Sky News, with Rupert Murdoch. And they were discussing Australia's approach to net zero. Have a listen.
Do you think the net zero targets are achievable?
No, I think we're absolutely on the wrong track. I'm not a climate denier. I might be a sceptic of some of the things that I said. But you're going to have blackouts, you're going to have... The cost of living will go up all over the world.
I think Mr Murdoch there, Phil Thompson, has summed up where most of us are at.
Yeah, definitely. I think you need baseload power, and to say anything other is completely factually incorrect, because the power prices, electricity prices, have gone up 21.5% since Labor's taken office. We've got Callide Power Plant that exploded under the Queensland Labor Party more than 1,000 days ago. People are doing it tough. You need baseload power for when the sun's not shining, the wind's not blowing.